Filled with anxiety at this discovery, Inga searched through the entire room, looking underneath the beds and divans and chairs and behind the draperies and in the corners and every other possible place a shoe might be. He tried the door and found it still bolted. So, with growing uneasiness, the boy was forced to admit that the precious shoe was not in the room. With a throbbing heart, he aroused his companion.
"King Rinkitink,"
said he,
"do you know what has become of my left shoe?"
"Your shoe?"
exclaimed the king, giving a wide yawn and rubbing his eyes to get the sleep out of them.
"Have you lost a shoe?"
"Yes,"
said Inga.
"I have searched everywhere in the room and cannot find it."
"But why bother me about such a small thing?"
inquired Rinkitink.
"A shoe is only a shoe, and you can easily get another one. But stay, perhaps it was your shoe which I threw at the cat last night."
"The cat!"
cried Inga.
"What do you mean?"
"Why, in the night,"
explained Rinkitink, sitting up and beginning to dress himself.
"I was wakened by the mewling of a cat that sat upon a wall of the palace just outside my window. As the noise disturbed me, I reached out in the dark and caught up something and threw it at the cat to frighten the creature away. I did not know what it was that I threw, and I was too sleepy to care, but probably it was your shoe, since it is now missing."
"Then,"
said the boy in a despairing tone of voice,
"your carelessness has ruined me as well as yourself, King Rinkitink. For in that shoe was concealed the magic power which protected us from danger."
The king's face became very serious when he heard this, and he uttered a low whistle of surprise and regret.
"Why on earth did you not warn me of this?"
he demanded.
"And why did you keep such a precious power in an old shoe? And why didn't you put the shoe under a pillow? You were very wrong, my lad, in not confiding to me, your faithful friend, the secret, for in that case the shoe would not now be lost."
To all this, Inga had no answer. He sat on the side of his bed with hanging head, utterly disconsolate, and seeing this, Rinkitink had pity for his sorrow.
"Come,"
cried the king.
"let us go out at once and look for the shoe which I threw at the cat. It must even now be lying in the yard of the palace."
This suggestion roused the boy to action. He at once threw open the door and in his stocking feet rushed down the staircase, closely followed by Rinkitink. But although they looked on both sides of the palace wall and in every possible crack and corner where a shoe might lodge, they failed to find it. After a half-hour's careful search, the boy said sorrowfully,
"Someone must have passed by as we slept and taken the precious shoe, not knowing its value. To us, King Rinkitink, this will be a dreadful misfortune, for we are surrounded by dangers from which we have now no protection. Luckily, I have the other shoe left, within which is the magic power that gives me strength, so all is not lost."
Then he told Rinkitink in a few words the secret of the wonderful pearls, and how he had recovered them from the ruins and hidden them in his shoes, and how they had enabled him to drive King Gos and his men from Regos and to capture the city. The king was much astonished, and when the story was concluded, he said to Inga,
"What did you do with the other shoe?"
"Why, I left it in our bedroom,"
replied the boy.
"Then I advise you to get it at once,"
continued Rinkitink.
"for we can ill afford to lose the second shoe as well as the one I threw at the cat."